Alright, so let's continue. So the only thing left for us is to display the content in the right way, which means that to display the image right at the top and then to loop over the links array to display these buttons that we have, the links. So let's do that real quick. Right over here above the h5 tag, above the page title, we will be using the image component, the NextJS image component right over here. So to this thing we need to provide the source, and we already have that, which is this image. Let's place it over here, and then we also need to specify the width and height. Let's do that. Width of 75 and the same thing for the height, and let's also set the class name to be of avatar, for which I've already added the stylings right over here. So if we do that, we will be seeing an error which says that we are trying to import an image which is not whitelisted. So this image that we are trying to load is from an external source. So we need to specify the host name as the allowed domains. So over here it says that this is the host and we need to whitelist this. So let's do that. So within the next.config.js, which is within the root level, right over here, we need to add in the images property, which is an object within which we need to pass in the domains, and it's an array, and we can just list down all the different domains. So in this case it's just this one, and if we do that, we need to restart the server as we changed some settings in the core file, which is this one. So let's restart the server once again, and now we should be seeing the image being displayed right over here, and there we have it. So that is beautiful. Alright, so now we just need to loop over the links, and let's create these buttons dynamically. So over here we can remove the pre-tag, we no longer need it, and we already have this anchor element. Let's wrap it inside of an expression, and over here we need to map over the links, mapping over individual link and creating these anchor elements in such a way. So to this thing we need to specify the URL, which is actually this thing, and the name, which will be used within the opening and the closing tag of anchor. So over here, link dot URL and link dot name. Is it the name? Yep, it is. And let's also set the key so that it doesn't throw any warnings. And for the key we can use either one of them, doesn't really matter. Let's go with the name, and let's also set in the target, just so that when the user clicks on this link, it opens in a new window. So over here let's set the target to be of blank in such a way. So if we do that, and if we head back over here, there we have the links. So that is beautiful. So now let's try adding some more. How about another one which says website, and I will be listing my own, like the official website of this channel. And if we head back over here, and if I refresh, we should be seeing the last one being added, and I can use the reorder as well, and it's going to reflect the changes. Now in case you're wondering that why, like how exactly it is updating it real time, like over here we are using the revalidate, so it is supposed to update it after 10 seconds, or to say it is supposed to pre-render the page after 10 seconds. So within the development mode, the NextJS server doesn't take this under account, which means that on each refresh, to say, it's going to make the request a fresh request. However, once we deploy the project, it's going to take this thing under account, and it's only going to pre-render after the 10 seconds cap that we have specified. Now that being said, I think we are done with the project. And let me actually see one thing. What if we add blank blocks Does it throw any warning? If it does, yep. So we have to take care of this thing that there are no blank blocks. Now the other way would be to kind of check it out right over here, whether the block is actually the one that we want to push to the array. But let's just keep it simple and keep in mind that we don't have any blank blocks. Alright, so I think this would be it. And as this turned out to be a pretty small video, let's do one thing. Let's actually deploy this application on Vercel. So Vercel, in case you don't know, it is actually the company which developed the NextJS framework, and they also provide the service of hosting it. So we are going to use it in order to host this project. So let's do that. So the very first thing that you need to do, in case you haven't, you need to install the Vercel CLI in such a way. And after you do that, the other thing that you obviously need to do is to create an account. And after you do all of that, you need to log in. And I guess there should be a list of commands. One second. There it is. And let's actually see. Okay, so you need to log in within the terminal. Like, I've already done this thing, so I won't be doing it. I already have Vercel installed and I'm already authenticated. However, you'll need to do it for the first time. So after you do that, after you are logged in, you can get back to your project, and right over here, now there are different ways in which you can deploy your project on Vercel. There is one which is actually suggested, that you push your code to a GitHub repository or any repository, like anywhere, and you connect it with a Vercel project. And the best part is, whenever you push any new change on that specific repository, Vercel will automatically build that project. So for this thing, I don't really think we require any repository. Like for this thing, we can directly deploy the project on Vercel itself without having to connect it to a repository. So right over here, you can type the command of Vercel deploy and the tag of prod in such a way. So it's going to ask a couple of options. It's going to ask whether this is the directory, and that's the thing. And then it's going to ask for the scope. I'll keep it the same to an existing project. Well, we need to create a new one, so we need to specify n for no. What's your project name? Let's keep it the same as what we have, the folder, and the directory, it's the same thing. So now it's going to set up the project and it's going to deploy it on Vercel. So it's saying that auto detected project settings, it is Next.js, like it automatically detected that it's a Next.js project. So do you want to override the settings? Well, nope. Let's go with n. We just want to use the settings that Vercel already has in order to cater the Next.js projects. And it's going to take a couple of seconds, and after that we should be seeing the project online. So let's give it some time. So apparently it has thrown some warning, and let me actually see. Over here, I believe it must be something warning related. Okay, it's saying that error target blank without this attribute. So it seems like this is something that we have to pass in. Okay, seems pretty serious, and that's the reason why they have stated this thing. So let's do that. That's a good thing. Well, actually I did include this thing in the final version, but somehow I forgot. Anyway, so now I think it should deploy without any warnings. And by the way, make sure to subscribe this channel. Kind of forgot to ask that the entire series. Make sure to subscribe and like all the videos. That would mean a lot to help grow this small channel that I have. So I think it's done, and let's actually are you serious? Anyway, I'm so sorry. Acha, it's done. That is brilliant. We have the application, and now let's actually try the making some change on the Notion page, like real time. Like for instance, I will be switching it right over here. Let's actually add a link. Oops. And let's okay, so now if I get back over here, we are already past the 10 seconds cap that we have specified. So now if I refresh, we are still going to see this page. However, in the background, NextJS has already made the request to fetch the new thing. So now if I refresh, we are going to see the new updated content. So there we have it. That is brilliant. Alright, so this completes the entire series. I hope you were able to get some value out of it. If you did, if this was helpful in any way, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe this channel and like the videos, even comment. That helps a lot for the YouTube algorithm, whatever that is. Alright, so see you next time for a new project. And also there's something you can get to the I still have to update this project, so you can get to the link shortener one, and you're going to find a link in order to provide feedback. So over here you can state, you can suggest any new ideas or any new projects, specifying the tech stack as well. So I'm familiar with these tech stacks, so in case you want to have any project related to these, you can just leave a feedback and specify your feedback as well as what do you want to learn. Alright, so peace and see you next time.